Hello everyone, my name is Amber and welcome to my Quadrobics tutorial. Today I'll be going over walk, trot, canter, run, and jump in Quadrobics form. Let's get started. Prior to practicing Quadrobics, I always start out by stretching. Stretching reduces the risk of injury and strains. Here are a few of my personal favorites, but you can always improvise or use your own. Light exercise, such as push-ups, can also help build the necessary muscles for Quadrobics. Three quick things. Number 1, always stay hydrated. Number 2, don't overexert yourself. And number 3, remember to have fun. This is the most common hand position for Quadrobics, where your knuckle or nails and palm make contact to the ground. It basically prevents your fingers from bending backwards and also gives a more paw-like and animalistic structure to your hand. This area of your hand may also experience some pain from scratching on the floor, but typically after a few months of practice, your hands will toughen up and get used to the position. An alternative is to make this claw-like structure with your hands. I use this method the most when working on cement to minimize the pain in my hands. If you have extreme discomfort in your joints while practicing Quadrobics, I suggest you get some protective gear. I suggest practicing on padded or soft surfaces. I usually use this mat or practice on grass, but when I was a beginner, most of my Quadrobics was done on a trampoline. To get used to the Quadrobics position, start standing, then slowly bend yourself down until you get used to this position on all fours. To walk, you want to put one paw up. When you lift down, raise another, and then repeat. Walking should feel like a very fluid motion, so be sure to get your own tempo or rhythm to it, and it should match like a very steady pace. You can watch cat cycle animations or just cats walking in general to get a gist of it. Don't try too hard to get a perfect form. Walking should feel natural. Trotting is one of the harder forms as it takes up a lot of stamina. It is basically an up and down movement of your paws while you alternate. It's like hopping on opposite arm, opposite leg. When starting off the trot, you want to just alternate your legs like so to get a feel for the movement, and then you can add a little hop in between it. Push yourself forwards while hopping. Trotting is definitely a super hard form to achieve, and it wears me out every time. Cantering is a down-up motion where basically you exchange going down with two front paws on the floor and then up, down, up, down, up. Running and sprinting is basically cantering faster. You can canter faster by taking bigger leaps and stretching out your arms and legs. I have previously made a dedicated high jump tutorial, so I'll be reiterating everything I said there. To start off your jump, you want to lift up your paws and push up, jump up with your hind paws. As for landing, start from a handstand, then bend downwards to get used to the feeling of the pressure of the jump. I'm not going to do a handstand tutorial since I'm not the best, but you can find some on YouTube. Here's what your mid-air tucking position should look like. Here are 3 main ways I've seen tucking. There's this front-ish tucking position to the chest, side tucking, and also this super forwards nose tucking position. Front tuck. Here is a front view of the front tuck. Here is a side tuck. I typically use this tucking position to clear higher jumps. Here is a front tucking position. I'm not very good at this, as you can see. Of course, you can always use your own tucking positions. These are just a few common ones I see throughout Quadrobics. I like to jump over bars or objects as practice. By raising the height, you can measure how high you can jump, and it also helps train for height. Does your jump look like this? Or maybe this? An easy way to improve your height is by looking upwards instead of downwards, so raising your back and legs. I'll use this clip to demonstrate. Here, instead of looking up, I look downwards. My legs are also not aligned with my back, so I can't gain a lot of height. Here's my thought process while jumping. First, I look up and practice pulling my paws in. Then I jump by pushing off hard with my legs. Then I tuck them in and reach out and prepare for a landing. I don't know really how to explain bucking because it came naturally to me. You gotta start from a handstand and then just kick upwards. Try to apply it to a jump, but it can't be a very small jump or else bucking will not work out. You can try practicing this motion and then just add the jump in. I've had a lot of trouble landing not on my knees, but I think I've figured out how. If you don't pull in your legs soon enough, your knees will end up on the floor. So instead, you have to pull in your legs super quickly, right after your jump, to be able to catch that rebound. To practice landing on your feet instead, I suggest trying to jump right after your main jump. Add a small hop. By jumping over many objects, we can train this rebound jumping and therefore avoid landing on your knees. If you don't mind landing on your knees and you just want it for the form, you can always just land and quickly bounce back to your feet.